Hey y'all, what's good? What's good with everybody? Today's topic is about the reason why I wasn't married, ready to be married, versus the reason why I feel like I'm ready to be married now, even though I'm already married. And I'm not saying this like I regret being married, but I just really realized that right now in the brain that I am right now and the person I am right now, I realize that being married right now is it could be better if I would have just did some things different when I decided to get married back then. For one, I'm for sure I loved my wife. I'm for sure that she was a beautiful woman to me. I'm for sure that I would die for her today, tomorrow. If something bad was to happen, I'm for sure she could have my kidney, my liver, she could have my heart, my soul, my blood, my everything. I'm for sure of that shit. And I'm for sure that if I would have met my wife today and we would have been dating today, the shit that I know now that I didn't know then I didn't know how to be a stepfather. I didn't know how to be a father, period. I didn't even have a kid of my own. Well, I had a kid, but it wound up not being my kid. You know what I'm saying? So, not to make no excuses, when I first got with my wife, I was every bit of 23 going on 24. You know what I'm saying? And I think I was with my wife for a whole year. And then when I turned 25, I decided I was going to marry my wife. You know, so boom, we got together. I feel like the mistakes that I made as a husband or as a man in a relationship, I felt like we should have dated longer. You know, that way some of the mistakes that I made, it probably wouldn't have been forgiven. I probably would have moved on. We could have just left it at that. Marriage is what kept me with her longer. You know what I'm saying? And it would have gave me some time to like bounce back. But I knew my wife loved me, but I also knew that she wanted like a part of me knowing that what I know now, she want more of a masculine man. I'm not saying that she asked for that, but it just comes off like she wants somebody more handy, know more about cars, you know what I'm saying? And somebody that just a totally stand up dude. Like, I just wish that I could have been more like, I guess, hands on. I wish I would have whooped the kids more. I wished I would have told them no more. I wish I would have never allowed them because I wish I would have just been a little bit more strict than nice. Um, Secondary thing, as far as kids go, I just wish I was more strict than nice. I'm not 100% better. That would have been better, but I feel like in my heart now that would have been better. I wish I could have talked to the fathers. I wish I could have talked to James' dad and Michaela dad. I wish I would have had a bond with them. That way I have more of a feeling or more like, say if a situation happened with their kid, I could call them up. Hey, bro, your kid going through this issue and he or she don't want to mind. You know, they could get on their ass. You know what I'm saying? I just wish that me and her other baby daddies would have, or they would have been the type of man that want to talk to me. You know, because if the table was turned, yeah, in a black man community, or no man don't want to talk to another man that's with their baby mama. You know what I'm saying? But when you leave your child behind and you don't want to be with the woman that you had a baby by, and these niggas wasn't the type of men that would just call every day, checking on their kids every day. They might started that shit, and at the same time, it's like let's just be real. I know what it was, and I know what it is because I learned something over this time that my wife got a weakness for men. What I mean, I feel like her weakness is any man could slick talk her into doing some shit, and she just gonna say yeah. And I feel like they played on it. They played on my wife's kindness for weakness. You know, I feel like they played down that. And then some point in time, in the beginning, I played on that because I knew that I had a woman that would do anything for me. Once when I noticed it, I was just like, fuck, I got a woman that ain't gonna tell me no. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I mean when I played on it, I knew in some aspects that if I cheated, I was gonna be forgiven. I knew that for a fact, but I didn't know that too much for a fact. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that she was ever gonna cheat on me. I didn't know that she ever was gonna cheat on me back. And at the time, I felt like I was the best man that she ever had. You know, the only thing I fight them for is, you know, not just being there more. You know what I'm saying? Because if they would have been there more, a lot of times I could have just, hey, such and such, hey, your son is acting up, hey, such and such, can you see, you know, like if they was involved more, then it would have stopped a whole lot of bullshit from happening. And if we would have had a bond, you know, man to man, you know, my okays and my dudes and my don'ts. Instead of them niggas trying to control shit or wanting to control shit, what I mean by control shit, like, well, I ain't gonna talk to that nigga, but I'm gonna talk to my baby mama instead of that nigga. Like, why do I need to talk to him for? I want to hear shit he got to say. You know what I'm saying? They look like, yeah, it's better off me not being with them than, like, you know what I'm saying? They want to be the only man that's with her, is what I'm trying to say. They want to be the only man that's with Rita. You know what I'm saying? And if they could control what they got going on out of town and still come down here and have something to control too and sleep with. And I believe my wife would still let them have it that way because she forgave them for their wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it's mighty strange that I helped them take care regardless if they throw it or say it. I wasn't always the broke one in the relationship. I wasn't always the one that just only had one check. I always had money from the beginning to the end. Like, it was hella birthdays. I bought Christmases and toys and shit like that. I just wish that these niggas would have been standing up to the motherfucking plate. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like she might have made some type of agreement or arrangement with them to not get them for child support. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she didn't want to, but she didn't try her hardest to get them for child support like all the females that I know do. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. It's neither here or there. I just wish that them niggas would have just been man enough to just call me, talk to me, and we could have dealt with. Like, sometimes it takes a whole village to raise somebody's kid, especially, you know, taking care of a kid that's not yours. I ain't gonna lie. If any man that would have tried to come in my mama life and try to play stepdaddy to me, I'm more nicer than my stepkids. Uh, I'm just more nice of a person, period. But I'm not saying that I would call the nigga dad or anything like that, so I can see where they come from or that. But at the same time, if he respecting me, he respecting my mom, he's doing for her, he's doing for me, and he's not harming her in no shape or form, or he's not doing nothing to hurt me, there's no reason why I should want him to see him be hurt. You know what I'm saying? And if he did do something to hurt me in the beginning and then he just made it up in the end, like I did, you know what I'm saying? Well, there's room for forgiveness and there's room for second chances. So when I say I wish them niggas could have been more to the plate and more of a man, you know, just like they was man enough to lay down with my wife and had a baby by us, they should have been man enough to be in their kids' life. They should have been fighting in court, doing whatever they can to fight for custody, doing whatever they can to have shared relationship with their kids. Even if they didn't fight for court, they should have had some type of agreement with Rita where they kids go see them every summer. Spend a year out there, they spend a year out here. Like, that could have been way helpful. Because if they would have been spending years, 6 months, or whatever, summer times with their fathers and their parents, it would have helped with a lot of gifts that I wanted to give them, but I couldn't because I didn't have the money. Or I wanted to give them, but I didn't feel like they deserved it. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of times they did something wrong, and It would have been nice just to have their dad okay, since it was their kid. I'm not too sure how I should feel about that, but that's how I feel about it. And by versus now, these niggas hearing all the bad shit I hear now, so now I'm looking like the bad guy versus the good guy. And it's like, they've been forgiven for their bullshit. Me, not. You know what I'm saying? So, even though I'm probably one of the guys that fucked up the most, but it's like, I'm getting punished the hardest too. And yeah, based on my wrong, I should be punished the hardest, but at the same time, since I'm the only one that's thug it out, stood by your mom's side, stood by y'all side, all the way up until the age y'all is now, don't I deserve something? You know? And so that's the hard part, you know, about the marriage. Good part about the marriage, and then what I know now is that I know that discipline means a lot. And the things that I wanted to do, I couldn't do because my woman wouldn't do it. I wanted to get to know these guys before I got to know these kids. If I would got to know these guys before I got to know these kids, it would have stopped a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Or things that should have never happened. It would have made things better. All I can say. And I knew I was tired of staying with my sister. So when I met my wife, I was every bit of 23 going on 24. Um, she was the most beautiful woman I ever been with. And she is still to this day. Beautiful body, biggest booty I ever seen in a woman. And it's just like, I just feel like when her baby daddies got with her, they knew that she was a good woman and they knew that she was a pushover. Because like, I felt like Rita, she knows she's a beautiful woman. I just feel like she don't know her value. You know what I'm saying? Like, any guy that's gonna get with her gonna feed off her good energy. And they're gonna love the way that she loved now. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the way she loved now and I love the way she loved then even more. Because she was even nicer then than what she was now. Like then, I wish then I would have moved out of town with her. I wish then I would have convinced her to do this and did that. You know, because she was very submitted towards her man. You know, she was the type of woman that anything that her man wanted, he got it, he received it. And I feel like at some point in the relationship, not just I played on the good part, because I played on the good part because I knew that she had a good heart to forgive. Not that I played on the good part because I wanted to play her or misuse her, or mistreat her. I felt like I was played because at some point I felt like I wasn't the dominant man for her. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by dominant, I don't mean control, but I just think that she need more of a man that was not too much aggressive, but aggressive in the right ways. Like, you know, demanding her to do right, fixing the car, you know, macho. You know, I felt like I wasn't too demanding and I wasn't too macho. If I was different, like the guy that come through there and shut shit down, beat them kids' asses, discipline them kids, and fixing on cars and doing the hard work and doing a whole lot of shit, where she did a lot of the shit. You know, I was raised by a woman, so yes, I was a little less handier than my wife. Yes, I was a little bit easygoing because I didn't really want to handle the responsibility of the kids. I didn't really want to tell them kids what to do. I didn't really want to tell them how to go about this and how to go about that. I just partied, you know. I just cared about my own life, and I just knew that I didn't want to be alone no more. I didn't want to search for this girl, that girl no more. Even though I had the desires like of a hoe, like the streets, my brothers, them, they showed me um, I didn't have no father to show me the right way to love a woman, the right way to treat a woman. When I seen my brothers treat a woman, calling them bitches and hoes, and being a player, like these niggas wasn't trying to be a husband to none of the girls that they was with. They were just trying to make as many babies as they can as possible. You know what I'm saying? These niggas wasn't trying to marry nobody or settle down with nobody. You know what I'm saying? These niggas was just trying to pop their collars and be with as many bitches as they can be with. You know what I'm saying? And me on the other hand, I was trying to be that because that's all I've seen. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that one day the player was gonna one day want to be in love. And then me with my learning disabilities and all the issues that I had, I never really liked working. I never really liked to work. I would work if I was finding work or a job that was worth my time and worth me doing. Like I don't want to work if I gotta work like a slave. My wife at CVS, she worked like a slave. I feel like as a manager, she should have been doing manager position shit. Hiring, firing, fucking opening, closing the door, and fucking calling shots. Not being called shots on. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, everybody has a manager or a supervisor over them, but I thought like once when they allowed a motherfucker to be a manager, she should have been a manager over her manager, or she should have been as high as her manager. I would say, like to hire, they should allow her to hire and fire, and they should allow her to like pick and choose, you know, and not be a manager and just having to do every fucking thing. You know, she should be able to have a slack back as a manager. You know what I'm saying? But obviously that ain't a manager. Manager means you do every fucking thing at her job and plus get underpaid. Like I feel like if you work somewhere every day from basically from sun up to sundown, your checks in this economy, shit, your shit should be up there with the Joneses. You feel me? High as fuck. You should at least get 2 bands every pay period. Period point blank. But when I was younger, I really didn't know. Like I was still party mode. I didn't know I was gonna be that horny. I didn't know I was gonna have struggles with having kids. I didn't know I was gonna have sperm problems. I didn't know I was gonna have this and that. You know what I'm saying? I still got the ability to feel like I still could have kids, but I just didn't know how much drinking was gonna damage my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know I was gonna have these struggles. I would have known what I know now. I would have disciplined more. You know, I would have went to the doctor more to get my dick fixed or make sure I ain't got no major diseases that I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? I would have convinced my wife to move out of town way back then. You know, but way back then I was partying with my friend to Vegas. I was having too much sex. My sex drive was high, and like I said, I really didn't know how to be a father or a father figure or a stepfather.